Breeze Nation, what is good? We have breaking news on the channel here. Now, I may have to pause after the breaking news. We're going to get into this here, but I do have to go on the radio in a second. Y'all may just listen to that while I go on the radio, so big shout out to y'all. But we got breaking news here as the Chicago Bears apparently have gotten their starting center of the future. I don't know if I'd say that, but they have gone out and they have traded for a 2027 fifth to the New England Patriots for Garrett Bradbury. Very interesting move here. Going out to me and getting a guy that is kind of just a guy, if we're being honest. But when you look at the PFF numbers, there are two very, very important numbers that I think that you have to look at here. Sacks allowed and pressures allowed. And Garrett Bradbury last year on a very bad offensive line was pretty good at both. I think that is not a bad player for you to get with this pick. It is going to be interesting to see where this team ends up, or where the Bears end up feeling comfortable at the center position. If this is it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Trying to get Joel in here. Trying to get Joel in here. What the heck email did you just send me, Joel? Let me do this again. Boom, send. Let's see if it ends up going to him this time. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, though. Listen, him and Tooney, Joe Tooney, were teammates in college, so I think that plays into this as well. Going to be very interesting to see, kind of how they come back together. But bottom line, you feel like you got a good player as far as the numbers go, who was on what was a pretty struggling line, but who just went to the Super Bowl last season, played all 17 games. PFF grade, again, pair that up with what you saw on the field: 63.1 pass blocking grade, 56.2 run blocking grade. But again, penalties, he was he was one of the best guys in the NFL, did not have a single penalty all season. Sacks allowed, he was one of the best in the NFL. Hits allowed, only allowed 4 hits the entire season, and then total pressures allowed 20 total pressures. So a solid piece. I think that you still could try and improve the from a Garrett Bradbury and go out and possibly sign somebody. I think with the Taylor Decker news that possibly broke today, maybe this is a world that you want to live in. Again, this is for a 2027 fifth round pick here. You're not feeling like you are in this back against the wall situation if you're the Chicago Bears by making this move. Hopefully this is one that the Bears end up benefiting from, and you can get a guy in here who ends up being pretty solid. Big shout out to you guys, man. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Now, one thing that is going to be interesting is, what does this mean for the team moving forward? Is this going to be, does this keep you into the Max Crosby situation? I think Max is done. I think that conversation is done. I think at this point, you're probably having more of a conversation around trying to go out there and add a Bradley Chubb, or add a why am I blanking on his name right now? The Cincinnati pass rusher. I got too much going on in my brain right now, and I'm trying to get Joel up in here. Joel, let me know if you got the link, Joel. I don't know if you're in here. I'm sitting here listening to the radio as well. But Trey Hendrickson, thank you. This is Chuck. But the Trey Hendrickson is the one that I think you might end up getting as well. To me, I'm looking at that situation, and you feel like the Bears are fine at the center position moving forward. It's not great. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's the best situation for you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the move that I thought that they were going to make. It's a move that, to me, I think that is a step back from the guy that you just had in Drew Dalman. But it is solid. It is enough. It is somebody who can go out there and get the job done. I would rather have seen you go the free agent route at center. But I would assume this probably points to the direction where you're drafting a center moving forward. I would assume that this probably points to the direction where you're looking to go young at the center position, or you're trying to do what you did this season and give Luke Newman an opportunity to possibly go out there and try and figure some things out. Try and go out there and give him some time to try and get on the field and actually be able to get things done. Learn the position, get comfortable at the position. Nice little stopgap. This is a 1 year essentially deal. He's $3 million against the books. It is not the end of the world. This is a move that, to me, speaks to you doing probably a little bit more on the offensive line and then trying to add back pieces that you already have. You got a Kevin Byard. You want to re-sign him. How are you going to address the safety position? How are you going to address that defensive end position? Now, I'm not going to say that it is the best move that I expected here, but I also think the offensive line plays a part into that. The offensive line that he was on, he clearly was not the biggest issue on that line. We saw in the Super Bowl where some of the biggest issues on that line were. We saw in the Super Bowl who that level of player was there. So to me, this is not a bad move by the Bears, but it is one that I feel like is a move that the Bears it's not the expected move. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Was trying to get the super producer Joel Holt in here, but I guess the stuff is not working here. Yeah, but hey, they Will Campbell. Everybody that's saying it, Will Campbell. Speedy Carter, not sure why we did this. Like I said, I would assume. Hold on, let me see. I didn't get the call. I would assume that you're trying to go young. Oop. I would assume in this situation, my fault, I'm doing too much. I'm doing way too much at once. That's all good. I would assume that if you're trying to get this done, that you're looking to build with youth moving forward. I would assume that if you're trying to get this done, you're looking to build with the team that you know, younger guys that you can get the job done, pay them, be cost controlled for a few years here. I tried to think something's up with the phone. Sylvie said, we'll just move on. Cool. Don't worry about it. Bow. All right, bet. I can focus now. I can focus now because everything was happening at once. My fault, y'all. Everything was happening at once. Let me lock in here. You got a starting center for a 5th round pick. You've got somebody who you know can go out there and get the job done. You've got somebody sliding in between Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson. Like, those are things that I think are good spots for you to be in if you are the Chicago Bears right now. And you're pairing him up with a really, really good offensive line coach. You're pairing him up with somebody who, at the end of the day, we've seen develop players a ton. At worst case scenario, you're hoping that this puts you in a position to go out there and develop whoever the next guy is. Garrett Bradbury is 30 years old. Garrett Bradbury is not your center of the future. He's your center for next season. Very similar to what the conversation is probably going to be if you go out there and you get a Taylor Decker. And so I do like this move for the Chicago Bears. Do I love this move? No, I think that it is a stopgap move. I think that it is we were a little caught off guard. I also think this as well. The big name that everybody was looking for, of course, from the Baltimore Ravens there. You saw that there is a deal that Lamar Jackson is agreeing to, essentially that's going to be an extension here that will clear about $40 million off your cap. Tyler Lindenbaum's probably going back to the Ravens. Tyler Linden, once you see that the Lamar deal is getting done, remember, Lamar Jackson was $74 million against the cap. Once you see that the Lamar deal is getting done, once you see that that they're changing some things around, that they're trying to make sure that they are able to maintain their starting center and maintain what that team is able to do, you kind of go, okay, so you got to pivot in a different way. Now, would I have rather gone with a Connor McGovern and you hold on to that 5th round pick? I personally would have. I think that he's at that same level as a Drew Dalman was. But if you're looking at Garrett Bradbury right now, he played 1,070 snaps last year. You're pairing him up with a Dan Rashard, who we've seen what he's been able to do. You're putting him in the middle of two really good offensive linemen in Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney. He's familiar, at least with Joe Thuney, because of some of the things that he did in college. They were college teammates. Like, this is not an end of the world situation. And you're not giving up a ton. And by the way, if you still want to go out and get a Connor McGovern, you can. I would be okay with that. This is a starting center that could be just a stopgap piece. But if you told me you traded a 5th for a starting center who started in the Super Bowl last year for a backup center, I wouldn't be upset about that. He's making $3.7 million. He's making $3.7 million this year. If you're just joining, Garrett Bradbury has been traded for by the Chicago Bears for a 5th round pick. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Rob Van Wink said this feels like a Ryan Bates type of trade. I wouldn't say that. The reason I wouldn't say this feels like a Ryan Bates type of trade is because Ryan Bates hadn't played center. He had played a few snaps here and there where, you were hoping that what you saw from him in a few snaps in Buffalo was actually who he was. It wasn't. Oh, by the way, he wasn't healthy. This is a guy in Garrett Bradbury. And again, I'm not sitting here hyping this up. I'm not sitting here blowing smoke at the moon. It's fine. It's a step back, but it's fine. But for a 5th round pick, you got a guy that didn't have any penalties last year, a guy that didn't allow any sacks last year, a guy who only allowed 4 hits last season and who had 20 total pressures allowed all year. That's a good player. Now, was everything around him great? Absolutely not. But you're not adding him to an offensive line that is everything around him. Steve-O said if the Vikings gave up on him, he's mid. Yeah, he is. He is. And that's why I think you're probably saying, hey, we like what we have here in Luke Newman. We want to bring some competition in for a 5th round pick. You're adding a little bit of competition, but I need to see what this young man can do at center. I need to see what it looks like. You want to compete? Let's go compete. But I need to see what it looks like before I just give you the job. You go beat him out. He's a starting center in this league. If you can go beat him out, the job is yours. That's how you want to operate this thing. And I think Ben Johnson does a great job creating the competition. We saw it with the left tackle competition that we had last year. And at a minimum, you've got a starting center in the building. Now, does this mean that that your next move is a Taylor Decker? Maybe. I would like that. 1 year stopgap gets you to the point where Ozzy's back, knows the system already. I'd feel great about that. He requested a release from the Detroit Lions today. And if he's on the market, all the stars line up. If he's on the market, all the stars line up perfectly for you. Get that done. Now you fixed center, you fixed left tackle. Now, can you find a way to get right, or can you find a way to add some of the pieces in here defensively? As Jordan JC saying that he's in the room. It's good to know that somebody knows how to operate video. Joel's having a conniption. I'm like, it's the password. I don't know what to tell you, Doug. Hold on. Give it a sec. Give it a sec. And hold on. Cancel. Maybe. Discard. No. Do. Can I just refresh? Can I just refresh it? Are you fresh? Nope, not fresh. All right, we gotta boom and okay, and there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan JC in the building. JC, what's going on, my guy?
What's going on? I was taking a nap when I heard you guys rumbling about a new center. Oh, we got Tyler Linderbaum, baby. Yeah.
Nah, not Tyler Linderbaum.
Oh, we got Connor McGovern.
No, not Connor McGovern. No.
Oh man, who did we get?
We got Garrett Bradbury.
all this hype around all this mess and money we got Garrett Bradbury or Bradbury Garrett or whatever his name is.
Garrett Bradbury. Listen,
Jesus.
Fine, solid. Steve-O called him mid.
All right.
Yeah, I mean it is not phenomenal. It's a move. It is and here's bottom line of it. Your center has to do 3 things at a minimum. He has to be on the field. Bradbury played all 17 games last season, and of course played his way to the Super Bowl. He did not allow a single penalty did not cause a single penalty last year, and he did not allow a single sack last year.
Well, okay, all right, that's progress.
By the way, on a bad offensive line that allowed a lot of sacks.
But he wasn't the cause of it.
Listen. Let me get to the tape first. I remember the middle of the line being okay. I'm not gonna sit here and say that he had no help in any of that. But listen, Will Campbell was getting moved around pretty well there throughout the entire season. It was an offensive line that was in shambles. That was a bad offensive line. That doesn't mean that this player coming here is going to be an issue for the Bears. You're pairing him with Dan Rashard. You're putting him in between Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson. Those are 2 players that have shown you that they can play the position well. That helps him. You're putting him on the right side with Darnell, or you've got Darnell Wright on that right side. So you've got guys that already know how to do the job as well. Those are things that I think help out a Garrett Bradbury. And again, it's not the future for me. I said, I think now you might actually be, maybe they're all tingly and all googly eyed on, what was old boy that you had? Logan
Jones from
Logan
Iowa.
Jones.
Hey,
maybe they're looking at him and saying, that's the next guy, but we got to make sure that we got a vet in the building.
I'm going to be honest with you. As I'm looking at this, I mean, here's my question, because I told you I would be disappointed if they have stepped this. Now, if again they're sticking to their word, which I respect in a sense, because Ryan Poles has said he's going to build through the draft most times. That's what he said when he got hired. It's going to be slow and methodical, I guess, because you have the money to go out and get the best. at a young age at 25 in Tyler Lindbaum. So I'm trying to figure out what is the thought process behind not going for the big fish.
Trying to spin at other positions.
So
it's the exact conversation that we talked about this morning, right? Taylor Decker becomes available, 32-year-old left tackle that can solidify that left side. If you want him, you're gonna have to pay him. He don't come free. So that's money you're gonna have to hit. You want to bring Kevin Byard back. You want to add to the defensive line in some way. More than likely, I would like for it to be. I guess in this world, right? You could be in a world where a Trey Hendrickson is fine. Bro, what?
I need a drink,
bro. Do you just got a whole thing of juice at your desk?
I need a drink. This is driving me to drink. I'm sorry. Need a little OJ. I know we're sick right now. It's not alcohol. It's OJ.
A whole thing
that does
of
the body
juice.
Good. That's right. I know we're not product placing some. I can't show it. Never mind. All right. Never mind.
It's just at the desk. Is there a fridge at the desk?
No, it's actually kind of warm. I should have kept it in the fridge. Oh boy.
Just leave it. Loose juice is crazy, bro.
Loose juice?
Loose juice is nuts, bro. I don't know what to tell you on that one, brother.
Warm juice is a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Loose juice is crazy, bro. Just having that out and just rocking out with it, that was insane.
I don't like this. I mean, you look, you're in a window, not even a window, in a window where the Bears are literally the talk of the town, talk of the sports world, talk of the NFL. Like everybody is raving about their potential. Everybody's talking about they're the front runners. That's all I'm seeing on Twitter is they're the front runners. Obviously, on Monday it's going to be solidified that they get Tyler Lindbaum to a 4-year, $90 million a 3-year. What is it? 3 year, 90
well,
listen, $90 million contract.
Let's not speak on some of the reporting we've seen over the past couple.
Yeah,
of days.
You ain't lying. It's been a little while.
There's some pretty big name reporters who have swung and missed.
Swayed us. We're way off. Yeah, so. I don't know about that. Jesus, is Joel still trying to work his way?
I don't know what Joel is trying to do. I'm like, bro, it's the password. Like,
it's still not working.
He's trying to log into a whole nother website apparently. Like, I have no idea what's happening with Joel. Put the exclamation point back on it,
Maybe
Joe.
He's confused and he's on StreamYard because we were on StreamYard.
I sent them the link.
All right. Well, hey, I don't know what to tell you.
But no, like. To me, I'm not overhyping this move. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And here's the thing. This is the conversation we had this morning. Are the Bears trying to do this via the draft? Do you think that is there Dennis Allen's looking around and going, I can get me a Max Crosby in this draft. There's a heavy defensive end draft. I can get me a Trey Hendrickson in this draft. I can go out and add to this defensive line in this draft. As we can't sit here and go, we want them to go all in and just think the only all in you can do is by going out and getting a Max Crosby. Realistically speaking, the Rams didn't know how all in they were until Jared Verse shows up at the front door. Now he's helping you get to an NFC title game. You know what I mean? Like, the best teams go out and they find ways to fill the holes that they have and build with young pieces.
Yeah.
I would rather you do that than break the bank. Doesn't mean I wouldn't love a Max Crosby here. I just think it's a different way of going about it. I would if Max Crosby showed up at the front door, listen, let's go. We better win the Super Bowl this season. In this world, again, you talk about confidence in Caleb to get there. That's the other thing, too. We don't talk about the pieces that we have on the team enough.
Okay.
Caleb Williams, a really freaking good player.
Well, yeah.
Holston Loveland, Luther Burden, Kyle Monangai, DeAndre Swift, Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright. Like, you got some really good players on this team. And those guys were one play away from going to the NFC title game. It's not like now that I'm not saying things haven't changed. Drew Dalman retired changes very much. But it's not like you went into this offseason living in this world where if we don't add a big fish to this defensive line, it's over. If you add Bradley Chubb to this defensive line and he's a 10.5 sack guy again, you feel good about that move. If you add a rookie pass rusher who comes in and gets the job done, you feel good about that move. And so to me, I feel like that's probably where the Bears are looking. Hey, we got these draft picks. We're going to build as much capital as possible, and we're going to find young pieces that can help us moving forward.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna comment on everything you just said. Louis D. Phillips said the juice should not be loose. Last time that happened, well, we won't talk about it. I did say OJ. that was a good one. That was a bar.
You were drinking OJ as well, so there's a lot to unpack there.
Here's my whole problem with that though is I understand, again, if you're going to go all in, that, again, we know that can mean different things. My whole issue was if you're giving up all of this money and you're letting Tremaine walk and you're letting, or obviously other teams probably said, we're going to wait till he gets cut. We're not going to do a trade. That's just smart business. And you're letting, DJ go for a second. I would think that you were getting all of this money in order to address the most important position on your offensive line. And so if you're, again, if this is a stopgap and you believe that you have already identified your guy in the draft in a Logan Jones, or if you're going some other direction, Sam Hecht, and there's another one from Florida, I believe, that is supposed to be the number one guy. That's fine, but there's opportunities for you to pounce right now in free agency that don't always come along. You and I have always said, as a matter of fact, you've said it a million times, you don't find just tackles just in free agency all of the time that are good. Usually when they're in free agency or they're in the market for you to get, then we're getting the likes of a Coleman Shelton, and we're getting the likes of whoever else we had that year. We had a bunch of depth at the offensive line, but they were all mediocre.
Yeah.
3 years back. You're not getting one of the top centers on the market most times at a young age. And so for me, I feel like it just is, it makes sense to like take advantage of that opportunity. Like,
well, I think that conversation is more, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Lamar is signing an extension that takes $40 million off his deal.
Uh-oh.
He's probably
going
back.
See him tweet some sort of like emoji or something.
Yeah, he did the emoji. Yeah, he's probably getting his starting center.
Oh. Everybody was like, what was it? What did he put up? He put up, was it something with Denzel? I can't remember what it was. It was something that connected to AJ Brown, and they thought it was going to be AJ Brown coming to the Ravens. And that's why they thought it was like a gift or something that was related to like.
Could be that too.
Yeah,
could be that too. You know what I mean? But you clear $40 million off your books, you put yourself in a better situation.
That makes sense, though. I would think that they would try to get their starting center back. That like they shouldn't have allowed it to be that easy for him to be on the market. So maybe there is that caveat. But look, if this is the route we go, I'm fine with it. Again, I do trust these guys to get it right in the draft. They did it last year. It just would have been so nice to get one of the better guys on the market in free agency that's been there, done that has already obviously got experience at the NFL level. Like that's what you want. But heck, do we pivot now, and do we get the best on the other side of the trenches? Are we talking Max Crosby now?
Again, I keep saying this. Who are we trading for him? We just cut Tremaine. There's no one left.
All right, I need another drink.
Oh, no, not more loose juice. Oh, God.
Oh, boy. This is
listen, I would say you're probably living in the Trey Hendrickson world. I would say, Julian Phillips is a name that you could have. I would say, who else are you talking about there? I mean, I said Julian Phillips.
Man's rim plays. What do you mean I got to be a goofy because you're going to pay $20 million for a center? He's a top center in the league. $18 million for who is it? Creed Humphrey? It's being paid $18 million. They already said he's going to probably change the market. So you got to pay him over.
Yeah, he's probably getting 20, 25 million.
Market.
Yeah, he's probably getting 20 to 25 million. Listen, the bottom line is the center is the most important position in football. It's why Lamar Jackson is restructuring his deal so that he can keep guys on his team more than likely. Like I have no problem paying your starting center big money. The one thing that I do want to see though is you go young at that position for the future. Now, the part that is interesting about this is what's his name, Logan Jones.
Logan Jones, yeah.
Logan Jones is 24.
Yeah, he's an older prospect. Yeah, there's that.
Logan Jones is cost controlled, and if you draft him this year and maybe he's ready to go, yet again, you can start him right away, and you've got you've got a starting backup center who
that's true.
Has been a starter, who has started on a team that is going to a Super Bowl. So there's a lot of good that you can do there with that as well, in case Logan Jones is not ready, if that's the direction you go in the draft, or if you believe that Luke Newman is the starting center of the future for the Chicago Bears. I told y'all, it's going to be what Dan Richard calls. If Dan Richard goes, Luke Newman's the guy, but we just got to get him to that point. It's what you saw last year with Ozzie. You drafted a left tackle in the second round. We all knew that they all wanted Ozzie to be the guy. Ozzie wasn't ready. So you went through Braxton, you went through Theo Benedette, and when Ozzie got his shot and finally was ready, he dominated.
Yeah.
You might be living in that same situation yet again. Give us the vet that's going to come in, knows the job, can compete, can get comfortable with Caleb, and we know that we want this young man to come in at some point. He's going to have to fight to win that job, and if he's not ready, we got a starting center in place. Again, it's a downgrade from Drew Dalman.
Yeah, it is.
It is. But it was also a 5th round pick. And he cost $3 million.
Well, I mean, again, that's you get what you pay for, right? Again, we've been down that road millions of times, and that's why I'm saying. But
what we're paying for is 0 penalties and 0 sacks.
Yeah, but if you're saying he's still a downgrade from Drew Dalman, does that mean that there's an opportunity? Like, I get it. When you put him in the middle of a Tooney and a Jonah Jackson, yes, they could obviously mask some of the deficiencies of whatever he lacks in. Those numbers are good. Obviously, not giving up any sacks on your quarterback and staying healthy the whole year and having the experience of getting all the way to the Super Bowl is invaluable. I agree with that. I guess again, I just don't want to half-step this. I don't want to take any chances. And so if we're going the route of a Logan Jones or whoever that we're going to do our due diligence on in the draft, cool. We just better get it right, because I don't want to go into next season thinking that Caleb is going to be wondering who's barreling down the middle now. Jesus Christ, it is getting crazy outside. I heard a crazy thunderstorm. But I don't want like any issues again that we had years ago. And so that's why it's important to get the center right. I keep seeing the same guy in the chat talking about, well, you got to get your entire defense right. Center doesn't matter. You pay him $20 million. No. The most important position outside of quarterback is to protect the quarterback. You get your trenches right, and then you work your way outside of there. Our entire defense is not void of talent. And so we have to make sure that we get the offensive line right. That was a strength last year.
It's just not sexy. It's just not sexy. Building through the draft this year is not sexy.
No, it's not.
Like it's not gonna be. You're going to get defensive ends and defensive tackles that most people have not watched. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so. So it's not going to be sexy. It's not going to be fun. There is no Roma Dunze. There is no Caleb Williams. There is no Luther Burden. There is no. When we drafted Ozzie Trapillo, nobody thought that he was. I was the only one excited. Now, we were excited because of Seth freaking Rollins, but like I was the only one that was in there like, oh my God, we got Ozzie Trapillo. Wait a minute, that's a good move. Because that's not sexy. But those are the positions that get things done. You find a way to get Lee Hunter this year in the draft? Lee Hunter is the least sexy of any player of all time.
But he will get the job done at the very least.
That 110 split is nasty.
He will get the job done.
Woo. So like to me, I don't feel like, one, this is not the move for the future. This is a move to get you to the next step. I would have loved to go for a move from the future, for the future, I should say. But Connor McGovern is 28. He'll be 29 this season. Bradbury is 30. Bradbury didn't allow a sack, didn't allow didn't have any penalties, which is major, and played just about every snap of the season. Now you go out and you add Taylor Decker to this, I'm tingly.
Well, I mean, yeah, you would be patching up the line if you do that route. And I shout out to V-Dog. He says, I trust Dan Richard to get any old lineman right. Yeah. And I guess that's where maybe I should take a step back and realize whoever we bring in, obviously, they already had a conversation beforehand to say, if we can get this guy, I like him, bring him in here. And again, you mentioned the stats, and it's not like those stats aren't really good. Those are really good stats over a course of a season, obviously. But I'm hoping, I'm just nervous based off the history. I guess I'm getting a little PTSD again, but I need to relax. And so for me, again, if this is just a stopgap, and then we're addressing it also more so by getting another guy, whether it's Logan or somebody else who's a younger prospect in the league, or rather in the draft, to solidify the center position. Then we go get a Taylor Decker for however much he's going to get paid. Then you got your offensive line right there already. Now, for me, if we're going to go through the draft, then that means we need to go all in and getting as many draft picks as possible. So what does a trade for Tyson Bagent look like? What do you get back with that? Courtney Cronin is saying apparently that we will be probably getting our compensation picks from Atlanta.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, good news.
I like that.
So you're talking about maybe a second and a third, or a third and a third, whatever the case may be, added on to the draft, the stock that we already got, all the picks we already got. Let's go.
Yeah, no, like if we're able to get the comp picks, I'm tingly. Oh, now I'm tingly. Baki said my female coworker is having a moment at my job because Pat is saying that's not sexy. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what to do with that. It's not sexy.
All right, man. I'm gonna address this dude one more time because this is not what the show is about. And I don't usually go back and forth with people, but apparently he's not always in here. I don't know who this dude is. And shout out to you also for supporting this. I'm not trying to like dog you, but you clearly are not understanding what I'm saying, because you keep saying that I'm saying no one said or that center doesn't matter. I know you're saying that center matters, but you're saying that the overpaying for it is the issue with me and you. We're not overpaying if we're paying for one of the best centers in the league.
Yeah, you paying market value.
He has to get paid what he's worth. He has to. And then you address all of the other issues. You have to protect your quarterback to put points on the board. And then we can address other issues on the defense, as you said, since apparently this entire defense has gone to crap for you. I guess you don't like Jalen Johnson and Kevin Byard and other decent players that we already have on our defense. But for me, if you're going for one of the best names on the market right now at 25 years old, you have to pay him what he's worth. I'm not saying paying him 25, but 22 and a half. Yes, 20, 21. He's going to set the market for center. If he's here, if he's in Baltimore, if he goes somewhere else. And so that's what I'm saying. But shout out to you, man. I appreciate the passion.
Now, F that guy. No, I'm just playing. Hey, man, let us know how you guys feel down in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let's get Taylor Decker done next, in my opinion. And then we'll figure out defensive line. We'll figure out defensive line. I got no answers. I don't know. And for Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, the super producer Joel Holt, who tried his best, but passwords.
Was he in the chat?
No, I think he was in the chat, actually. Passwords don't always go Joel's way. And it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bedtime. One love.